The good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, it's Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Opening minute, and already a trip to the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Edmonds running out of the shotgun and able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Flush to his right. He'll swing that out to Edmonds. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I go right at him with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
Hines. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Edmonds is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right. 3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right in the beginning. When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Working with a 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Murray. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. Touchdown, Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point good by Prater. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
From the 41, Fields. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And the Cards are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
After the turnover, here's Murray being chased out left. That'll be caught. It's Isabella. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3. They run with Hines. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Murray now to throw. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
From the gun on third down, Murray. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complimentary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Watch the screen. Pass. Hey, 25 to the mic. We're going 25 to the mic. Watch the set. Go. Hey, 25 to the mic. We're going 25 to the mic.
To throw once more on second and 10. Fields flushed out right. Room past the 20. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Here's Murray. And that will be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Returnable for Grant. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bears take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields escaping the pressure right. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and inches, Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now it's Fields. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Murray now on 1st down. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
Murray now on 1st down. Flush to his right. Murray has the first down and more. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Let's go.
A big play there on the scramble.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Flushed out right. He's to the 10 and all the way down to the 5. 19 yards to pick up there.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From the 5 now, second and a yard. Here's Hines. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Card's going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, they run with Edmonds. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
First and goal, Arizona.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Prater's kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Here's Murray. He'll go out to the flat for Edmonds. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Huh, interesting. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. A give. This is Montgomery. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Third and 2, and here's Murray. He'll buy some time right. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
Third and short, and they decided not to run for it, and he's able to escape the pressure, finds a clear throwing lane outside the pocket, gets the completion, and picks up the first down.
On first down, Edmonds. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, second down.
In most goal line situations, defensive tackles are just trying to hold the line, hold their ground, and let the other guys roam and make the play. But in this situation, he's able to push his way into the backfield and disrupt that play for a loss.
Second down and another run with Edmonds. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be third and goal now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Hayden Hurst, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Prater for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Chandler Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. To throw is Fields. Escaping the pressure right. Finding room, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Marco Wilson.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And to give this time to the tailback. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Edmonds. Oh, look at the juke. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Chase Edmonds with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year.
And the Cardinals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point good by Prater, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 12, Fields. And now here is another interception. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 1st down, Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Here's Fields.
Matt
Ioannidis able to drop him for a loss of a couple. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Fields. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They snap it to Fields. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On third down, Edmonds. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And one last throw here for Fields. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying,